I served as the Chief of Staff of the Department of Homeland Security under the Donald Trump administration, and it was my job to help the Department of Homeland Security to keep our country safe. What we saw was terrifying. The president wanted to exploit the Department of Homeland Security for his own political purposes and to fuel his own agenda.
Okay, we'll watch the full commercial in just a minute, but this is a commercial that was put out about Miles Taylor, former Chief of Staff and Department of Homeland Security for the Trump administration. So this is not someone on the left. This is someone from the right. This is someone from inside the administration. We've seen this numerous times where people who are on the inside, that once they're done with the job, they're like, that was a disaster. Bolton is writing books about it. Cohen's writing books. Other people have spoken out about basically the nonsense that goes on in the Trump administration, and this is pretty damning. So this wasn't just someone who was involved. Former Chief of Staff and Department of Homeland Security. That's important. Okay, that's some important stuff right there. So this is an individual, notice what he's talking about, and he wasn't in there for 2 weeks. He was in there long enough to really see how things work. So he talks in this ad about basically not caring about states that he knows he's not going to win. So California has wildfires. Well, I'm not going to win over their votes anyway, so forget it. Why should I even try, right? And then we have the situation where they talk about the separating kids from their parents, and he just didn't care. It's all about just political expedience, whatever meets his needs, right? And we already know this. This is not a surprise, but we're seeing it come from his own people and being put into an ad here to the point where this very, very Republican individual is actually endorsing Joe Biden. This is the situation that so much of our country is in. Nobody really wants Joe Biden, right? Most people, you ask them, I think there are very few people that say, I would like Joe Biden to be the next president of the United States. No, it's more like, well, I don't want Donald Trump to be the president of the United States anymore. Right? I don't want to see what's going to happen after this. So let's take a look. Let's go through the whole ad. Again, let's see the whole thing start to finish.
I served as the Chief of Staff of the Department of Homeland Security under the Donald Trump administration, and it was my job to help the Department of Homeland Security to keep our country safe. What we saw was terrifying. The president wanted to exploit the Department of Homeland Security for his own political purposes and to fuel his own agenda. The California wildfires. He told us to stop giving money to people whose houses had burned down because politically it wasn't a base for him. Month after month, he said he wanted to have a deliberate policy of ripping children away from their parents to show those parents that they shouldn't come to the border in the first place. A cyber attack, terrorism threat. He wasn't interested in those things. He was one of the most unfocused, undisciplined senior executives I've ever encountered. And even though I'm not a Democrat, even though I disagree on key issues, I have to support Joe Biden for president, and I'm confident he won't make the same mistakes as this president.
Defending Democracy Together is responsible for the content of this advertising.
So that's pretty damning, right? The very things that are coming from the left, the very accusations, the very things that we already know on the left. But when you make those accusations, you're constantly being told those are a hoax. Those are just fabricated. Those are lies. Here we see someone who was on the inside, very respectable position, very powerful position, and yet coming out and saying, yeah, it was just a disaster in there. What you saw on a daily basis was terrifying. So what's it going to take? What is it like? How many people have to come out and make these accusations about the nonsense that goes on in the Trump administration, of the people who worked there, the people who were there on a daily basis, who were in the important meetings? How many of these people have to come out and say, yeah, it's a total mess? Thanks for checking out the video. Head on over to Twitch, Political Perspective, streaming over there on a regular basis, and we'll see you in the future.